tuning into BaisWave.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the HVV podcast. I'm Lev, and I'm joined by...
I'm Margarida.
Damir.
Seb.
Okay, amazing. First of all, welcome guys. Thank you for coming on the podcast, and I want to kick it off with how you guys started your football journeys.
Personally, I don't really know when I started. I kind of been surrounded by football all my life a little bit. But my family is very, very football fanatics a little bit, so I've been around it, and I played always like with my yard, my cousins, for fun. And then 3 years ago, I actually started taking it a bit more seriously, and I joined the club, and I started like playing a little more competitively. But yeah.
I started when I was 5, right before primary school, just because my dad had this passion about my boyhood club. And he was like, bro, you're gonna go play, you know. And then I didn't really have any choice. I just started playing, and then I fell in love with the sport, and just kept playing till today.
I always played like a lot of sports when I was young, and football was one of them. But I didn't really start playing football until I got to university, so like 2 years ago. And before then, it was just like randomly, like something like once every month I would play or something, and then I wouldn't play for like 6 months or something like that.
Okay. So you could say that the time investment you guys put into football is a little bit different for all of you.
Sure, yeah.
And Damir, you mentioned your boyhood club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's football club Željezničar. It's from Sarajevo, where I grew up. What big name played there? Edin Dzeko.
Oh.
We have to respect
Okay.
that name, please. It's in Sarajevo you have 2 clubs, so city derby is pretty huge in our country. It's always like so my boyhood club Željezničar is the club with like most trophies, like more history, and the other one I just hate it, you know. It's like the whole city, it's like 70-30 for us when you think about like who's supporting who, you know. But it gets kind of intense on derbies. I've been on a couple, and also throughout the academy I played against them as well, and it's always crazy. Like parents outside of the field just screaming. It's actually insane.
I love the passion that you can't see the mirror, but he is smiling ear to ear when he's telling you that, and I absolutely love that. So people are so passionate about the sport. You also mentioned your family is quite involved.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Well, my mom's side of the family, like my uncle and my grandma, they also have like a very big passion for one club in Portugal. I don't know if you guys know Sporting, like the green one from
The
Lisbon.
green one.
Yeah, there's only 3, so
Yeah.
but they're really big fans, and my grandma kind of like taught me. She was always super passionate. Like she always takes like anxiety medication for the games because she's so stressed about it. So she like kind of passed that on to me, especially like being like a girl. Obviously, like in Portugal, like girls didn't really play. So then my grandma like telling me that it's like, oh, it's like different because usually it's like your dad or your grandpa kind of like pass that on to my grandma, like having that passion really like inspired me a little bit. And my uncle and my cousin also, like they kind of got that from her as well, and they're like extremely fanatics. They go to every game, like it's like crazy. Like I wish I also went like with them every game because they go and they like chant and they go to like away games, and it's really cool to like see. And I wish like sometimes to like, just go there, and like especially in the derby days, it's crazy. Like the passion that they have is really cool.
Do you go back often to go and watch games? And
Well, it's a bit hard to watch games nowadays because like it got a bit popular. But when there's like league games against like smaller teams, it's easy to get tickets. But mostly whenever I'm there, it's like during Christmas or in summer, so it's a bit off season. So I just watch whenever there is like there's special games sometimes in the summer. So then whenever I can, I'll come watch. When there's tickets, I'll go with my uncle and my cousin as well, and my grandma sometimes if she's brave enough. But yeah.
Yeah. And Seb, for you, what kind of passion enlightened your university years of football?
Well, I don't know. At home, my dad is a big Feyenoord supporter, and me and my brother are big Ajax supporters. And the only reason my dad is a Feyenoord supporter is because most of our family likes Ajax. So then he was like, okay, I'll go against everyone.
Nice.
And then, so because of that, obviously there's been plenty of debates in the house. And every time that they play together, it's like always big thing. Everyone's on the couch, you know. Usually in recent years, it's not been going very well for Ajax, but. And then I've always been a big United supporter since I was like young. Like my brother was a huge United supporter. I remember having like a nanny shirt when I was like 7 or something like that. And just from like that history through now, still, even though United's been
Just
really
like Ajax.
heartbreaking, you know, but like still big passion for the sport and for the club.
Yeah, I can't go through a game without, having butterflies in my stomach. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I probably am more nervous for a United game than my own games, which is absolutely insane, and it shouldn't be that way, but yeah.
But how did you start, Lev?
Well, I started also in kindergarten. I played basically as soon as I could walk, and I played through. Well, I started in Hungary, and then I moved to the UK. But I always have supported United, and yeah, I just couldn't live without football. It was passed down from my grandparents as well. My grandfather used to come and play football with me always when I was young, and it just stuck with me always to carry that passion. Like, I don't think I could go a long time without kicking a ball. So,
I feel that.
yeah.
But also because you played in 3 different countries, right? Like you played here, you played in Hungary, you played in UK.
Yeah.
What's the best?
The best. Well, actually, it's difficult to say because each country
It's
has
different
its
ages as well, yeah.
different ages, different setups, different systems. But I find it that each of them have positives and each of them have negatives. But I enjoyed my football the most, I think, starting in England and then transferring here once I was like 18, 19. That's when, after COVID, because during COVID it was the worst time of my life. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and I feel like after that I genuinely realized how much I enjoy football, like how much it's part of my life and I can't just leave it. So I feel like that also helps. But at the same time, here sometimes with the referees, as you guys know, the KNVB unfortunately doesn't have enough refereeing for certain Sunday League games, and that can ruin the fun.
I agree.
Yeah, from the second team especially, like we don't get the KNVB refs, and it's one of the worst things. Like away games are actually, it feels like you're going to war every time,
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, especially like the flagsmen, because it's always like part of the other team. It's so easy to them just like put it up and it's margins offside or onside, and then it's just kind of makes it a bit unfair.
That's the bad side of having too many leagues. Like you do produce more players that go pro, but like you can't have enough referees, like licensed referees to ref all of the league.
Yeah.
That's why when I played back home, we have like 5 leagues in total, and then all of the age groups are also covered with all of the licensed referees, and it's like a team of referees. You get 3 referees, you get 2 flaggers, and you get the main referee.
In Hungary it's the same as well. When I was playing youth or whenever I go back to visit, and there it's amazing to see that you have actual referees there, and yes, they get a lot of abuse, and I respect them highly for that, because I don't think football could live without referees like that, because sometimes I know that sometimes speaking to Seb during the season, like I could see the passion in his eyes like die out when he sees the kind of referees that are stepping on the field that are not actually referees.
definitely had some horrible experience. Like I think at our last game, the referee for the first half, his brother was playing center back for the team, like twin brother, and they swapped at halftime. So then the referee became the center back.
Well, that day when I was coaching,
Yeah.
the referee was like, we were playing away, and the referee was the licensed referee, so KVB. But the opponent paid him to come there. So he was like, okay, if these guys paid me, maybe I should, you know?
Yeah.
So I was on the bench, they scored it was 2-2, they scored for 3-2, end of the game, like literally we had a stopwatch, end of the game, and he's like, just continue playing. I'm like, okay. 5 minutes goes on, we're still playing, they're attacking, like the opponents are attacking, we're defending, they're hitting the post, the crossbars, corners, everything. He's just letting it play for 20 more minutes.
Oh my god.
For 20 more minutes, just for them to score one goal.
And then he gave a indirect free kick in our box for like a pass back ball that was clearly just like a deflection, like
Yeah.
lobbed over the top and then like touched back to the keeper, but like insane stuff.
And then
And
I
then
asked him,
yeah,
how much did they pay you? He got really angry and he started attacking me.
he tried to like charge at Damir and then he slipped. It was
Yeah,
one of
that
those.
was really funny.
Okay, that is crazy. Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, that's the experience that we had with referees, especially on away games.
yeah. And I think that system is just so sad to see because, like, for example, also in England, you have so many levels to cover that it's there. I think the refereeing is much better in a sense that they have a lot more people doing it as well.
Yeah.
So they are sort of covered, but here I feel like a lot of students are not being allowed to referee, so they don't really have English courses. And I get that, like, we're in the Netherlands, but at the same time I feel like they would have so many more referees to cover those spots that they need for Sunday League, for whatever, to just have like a fair game, because it just worsens football, you know?
Yeah. But there's also just like an insane amount of amateur games in this country.
Yeah,
like Saturday and
also
Sunday, you drive through the Netherlands,
Yeah,
every
it's-
football field is playing a game.
Yeah, which is quite insane, really. Like the passion people have for the sport in this country,
Yeah, it's so big.
especially when the
So
Netherlands or Morocco plays football, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I remember the African Cup final, and we were supposed to have a game that day actually, and we turned up, and about half an hour before the first whistle, they tell us like, oh, sorry, the other team is not coming because they're watching the Africa Cup final. You know,
Yeah.
so I get it. Like, if my nation was in a cup final, I'm not going to football.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they properly celebrate football.
Yeah,
It's,
fair enough.
That's what I really want to see, like, in the World Cup, especially here. I feel it's going to be a good vibe. And it's, like, in June, so it's right in the summer. I think everybody's going to be really invested. Because, I don't know, like, I've never really been in, like, a World Cup in, like, the situation where everyone is really watching. So I think it's going to be a really cool feeling to see. Especially, like, the Netherlands game, because I feel like everyone here is so, like,
the Netherlands games are huge.
invested.
And I think we definitely need to make watch parties for that,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
for
gonna
sure,
be
for sure.
insane. But speaking about the upcoming World Cup, what do you guys think about? Damir's already shaking his head. What do you guys think about it? From, like, let's start with rules perspective. You know, for example, they have now that, I understand it's summer and it's gonna be a difficult weather-wise, but they have these breaks, you know, every half breaks, so that they
So
can
quarters.
go to
Like
quarters.
quarters.
Basically, they're making them quarters. In my opinion, that's just for commercialization. I don't like it. But what do you guys think about, like,
Depends.
in
how long.
general in the World Cup? What do you guys think about it?
Well, we had the same at the last World Cup where it was like super warm for some of the games, and they had the drinking breaks and stuff. But I feel like they know far in advance that it's going to be that warm, you know, like just don't plan the World Cup in that country at that time. Just make it playable for like, as long as the players can play at their like best level, that's what everyone wants to see. Not like that it's in Saudi Arabia or something like that, you know?
Yeah. But do you guys think like, I understand that Saudi Arabia and Qatar, all these places are quite controversial, but do you think with the current climate it's also controversial to put the World Cup in the USA?
Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
I strongly disagree with the whole concept of World Cup this year.
Yeah.
And like the way it's spread out in like 3 countries.
3 countries.
I think for fans that's horrible to come, like especially for fans that just want to see their team, like you don't have money to just keep going back and forth 3 countries just to watch your team play in the World Cup. I think it's not very fair for fans that started the sport and that fund the sport.
Yeah.
And also carbon print's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
That's one, and another is that I don't know if you've seen the ticket prices.
Yeah.
Because I think you hit the nail on the head, Margarida. It's crazy. They're trying to sell tickets for like the top row for thousands. It's
Oh
like,
my God.
I think
what
that
are we doing?
the average hotel price in like the US is $1,000 per night, that period. And that's just the average. That's not even like around the stadium.
And they also plan to do those halftime shows, as I heard.
Yeah.
That's just not football vibes.
Yeah. I don't like the concept either.
Yeah.
That's very like
That's
American.
like keep it for NFL, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
When I look back at when I was younger, like the World Cups was like South Africa, Brazil, you know,
yeah.
like really like
Yeah.
I don't know, the vibe was just way better. And like especially in Brazil, it's really like a footballing country. I feel
Brazil was the coolest one.
yeah, like America,
I
Canada,
still remember that.
they're not really like footballing countries, you know.
Yeah.
They prioritize other sports, but I don't know, just something doesn't feel like the same about this
My
one.
country got robbed, but it's fine.
I mean, I completely agree. Like, with the, did you want to connect to the people, right? And this feels so disconnected, like, especially with what's going on. And I mean, I don't even want to speak about the peace prizes that FIFA is giving out. I think that's just a
Yeah, that's
complete
just
farce on anything that we're seeing. But back to the actual game, it's my memories of the World Cup are the beauty of South Africa and Jabalala. I will never forget, and I just don't see the same passion. Like I feel like people are more scared to go to the World Cup than anything because of the current climate. I mean, what's happening in Mexico or even the US with guns, and I mean, I know that they're going to invest a lot, but I've also seen it that councils are rejecting proposals for safety measures in the US because they simply can't afford it. And this is also the fact that they're putting a stadium in the middle of nowhere, and then they expect people to turn up without public transport and without walkable, like you can't walk.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't have the feel of the Euros or the previous World Cups.
So the idea behind is let's build the stadium far away from the city, build a huge parking, make them come with a car, pay for the parking, pay for the ticket. That's just like, you know.
I think it's really unfortunate. I don't think any of like the real fans, like I know that a lot of Dutch people might go and you'll see like the parades and stuff, but I feel like the real fans, the ticket prices are just too insane to go to the games.
Yeah.
It's like $1,000 for a group stage game.
It's not even that, but if you imagine an entire package, right? You said that hotel prices are 1,000. Parking can cost up to €200 for just a single game, and we haven't even talked about food.
Yeah, everything that comes with it.
Just
a full package.
Yeah, the full package. It's I think they calculated the average is like it could cost you 10 grand a game.
Oh my God.
And
that's insane.
That is insane. I'm sorry, but I'm
Damn.
having trouble with the ticket prices in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The best league, in my personal opinion, in the world. And now you're putting this in front of fans traveling from all over the world. It's not football. Like even you describe sporting games. Like it's difficult to get tickets, but I feel like it's still much better, and the vibes are just completely different. Right?
Yeah, and I think like putting this much pressure on like just costs, obviously, and everything is kind of driving away the passion of football. Like you think about like stadiums, think about like, oh, people are like just supporting their team, there's like chanting and everything. I feel like in this World Cup that'll be much like minimized because of that, because there's not going to be like huge groups of people that can afford to go to the stadium and go and support their team. Like maybe outside the stadium, yeah, like you can hear like people supporting, but in the stadium like the vibes are going to be so different.
We've seen even like some clubs that are starting to go to this like super expensive like way, and you see that like the overall vibe in the stadium is way worse and different. Like some clubs are really known for like just not having real supporters there, you know. You have a lot of the clubs in Germany which are like owned by the fans, which usually leads to like a really good environment for at least the fans and the supporters. I don't know if it's better for like the financial situation of the club or whatever, but I've seen a lot of teams that
I think Bayern, which is the biggest club in Bundesliga, does that. Like, it's owned by people.
Yeah, and I think that the Germany model is really cool.
Yeah, that's a nice tradition.
It's one of the best things.
And it's also top two. We were talking about it yesterday. It's top two teams with the biggest attendance this season are Borussia and Bayern Munich.
And actually, piggybacking off that, I don't know if you've seen it, but in Germany, obviously, football is quite massive. And so in the Bundesliga 2, it still has incredible attendances. Yeah. And I feel like that's because of their model. Because people feel close to the club, connected to the club, and they carry that passion that your grandmother, your grandfather, or your dad gave you because they can. And I feel like that is exactly what we need. And I don't know that this World Cup is not going to represent me as a football player or a fan, and I feel like that's just so.
I thought about not watching it.
Boycotting it.
Just boycotting.
I think they know that they can charge anything and do anything, and people will still watch and come because it's the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like it's such a big event. Everyone wants to see it. Everyone wants to go. Like, why wouldn't?
Yeah, I get that it draws people in, right? And they just don't care, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just sad. Let's go to a
let's move from it.
Yeah, let's move on from a sad topic like this.
But can I just add one thing?
Yeah, sure.
I like that. Was it this year is the first year that we have more teams in the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
I like that's the only positive thing.
Yeah, I like it.
So your country can go next time,
Huh?
so you don't get robbed.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So it gives you a chance. Is that right?
I don't know if we're gonna use that chance. It has to be Wales, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's possible. Anything's
Yeah.
possible, right?
Yeah.
It's
see.
football.
We'll see.
I hope so. 'Cause, my country's already out. So.
Yeah.
I think we covered quite a lot, but well, I said let's move on from the sad topic, but I'm gonna draw another sad topic out of the bag. Damir, I know you're injured, and I know the pain. Well, I can't say I know the pain, but it hurts, right?
It hurts, bro. It hurts. Mentally, it's just like draining, because like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday was my football days, and that's the only thing that I think about. I go to uni, finish all the work I need to do, go football, and that's like you're free there, And then I got injured, tore my ACL, and since then it's just like been not as enjoyable, like your whole week is kind of
Ruined.
Yeah, I think it's injuries in general are mentally way harder to handle than like actually like recover from them, like physically. But yeah, I'm getting a surgery soon, so we'll see how that goes.
I hope it goes well. And the Journal of Physical fitness and sports medicine puts the players per season. There's an 80% chance of injury for
that's crazy.
for amateur players,
Yeah.
which is, I think, is absolutely crazy. But
It's because we play with a lot of amateur teams play with high intensity still. Like, you can't say we don't play with high intensity even in our trainings, but we're just physically not capable to go with that, you know. And then that's why there's more, because you don't have a professional trainings
Or like recovery.
and recovery and diet and everything. Like, we just
Most
eat
of the
everything.
most of the people show up to the games hungover. You
Yeah,
know, like
exactly.
it's like
We're drinking, we're
Yeah.
smoking, we're
that's
students.
that's
you
a
know?
fundamental problem. But
Yeah.
I digress. Yeah. What do you guys think we can do to prevent that? What would you think that, as an amateur clubs or amateur players, coaches, what could we do to prevent more injuries, in your opinion?
I think like enforcing, like, I know stretching is very basic, but I think it does help before and after like games or trainings, because obviously your muscles are strained, and I think like, especially if you have like, for example, training on Friday and then a game on Sunday, and you have high intensity training on Friday, like, you're probably going to be really sore, your muscles are going to be very fragile. So obviously I think it's important to kind of ensure that on Sundays, for example, you are like stretching and you're getting your muscles warmed up and ready, because it's obviously very easy to get injured if your muscles are fragile, especially in the cold, like in the winter months. It's very easy to like tear a muscle because you're not properly warmed up or your muscles are very like tight. So I think it's important to like ensure that every like person is stretching and making sure they're like ready for the game, just to kind of prevent more injuries from happening. Even though it's very basic, I think it's a good
Yeah, bro,
like
stick to
method.
the basics.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Like in our team, sometimes like I walk outside and people are just grabbing balls and they just go shooting straight away. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I'm scared for them. And I've when I started playing football again, it was like I didn't play football from 12 to like 18, and then at 18 I started playing again. But then like as soon as I was playing, I started like feeling muscles that I haven't felt in so long, and like straight away a couple injuries, you know, like little strain of like a hamstring or like calves. And just the importance of warming up is so important, and I don't think it's done as well as it could be by the teams and by people in general.
Yeah, I think a lot of people dislike warming up.
Yeah.
You know, and as you said, like, I see it so many times where I arrive to training and the first thing I see is someone grabbing a ball and smashing it at the goal, like straight away. And I've always been taught that is the worst thing that you can do on the field, and I despise it when people just step up and the first thing they do is smash a ball at the goal. Like, I know that is fun, but it's I feel like that's just not helping anybody. No keeper is gonna like that the first ball is just rock hard at your face, you know. So yeah, I just feel like as a club, I think we need to do everybody just needs to just have that policy that, well, you can't do that. I also feel like coaching is a huge part of that, to stop injuries from coming out. But at the same time, we're amateurs, right? Our investment into the sport is more passionate, more about, you know, let's get on the field, let's score some goals, let's have fun, right? Because you're not doing this for
We're
money.
not as professional as you should be.
And I'm not saying that you should be more professional. I'm just saying that it's the mentality is a little bit different. Obviously, I mean,
I think
it is Sunday league at the end of the
It
day.
depends where you
Yeah.
play. You know? Like our team made an agreement at the start of the season that we were gonna try like take it very serious and be professional. And I think if you agree to that, then you should stick to it. But most teams, like, it's a personal choice. If you care enough to do it, then you should do it. And I think it's way healthier for you, and in the long run, it'll save you so many injuries and so much heartbreak as well.
Yeah.
So
And just the fact that so many players are, I feel like, come there to have fun, and I feel like we shouldn't discourage that either. But do you think that perhaps as like Seb said, agreements are very important. What would you prefer, to have like a signed agreement with the players, or how would you go about it, tackling something like this?
I think just like having a conversation every couple like weeks or months, depending on the team and depending how it's going. If you see attitude dropping in between the players, or if you see it like something changing, just making sure that the whole team is on the same page is very important.
Yeah.
Because that's how you stop arguments during trainings. Like, it's important that everyone understands the goal and everyone's working together, not against each other.
I think like building a team culture is very important. Like, I know I'm new to the team, but I feel like I already like kind of feel that everyone like does care, even though it's just like very amateur, very for fun. Like in games, I do think everybody's there to win. Like we have this like, we don't have an agreement, like we didn't talk about this, but everybody's there to win and we're gonna do everything to do so. And like we don't have a goalie, for example, when people step up to be a goalie, like we just want to kind of play and just have fun. And like we don't have an agreement saying, oh, we have to come to all trainings and be super professional. But I think like especially because we have like this one main competitor, I think we're kind of all working towards that goal of beating them. So I think that kind of unites us as a team, and it's like cool to see that everybody's like invested and like everybody wants to be their best and be the best as a team, and like motivating each other, which is like a really cool thing to like experience. From like the moment we started hanging out outside of football, like at least for me, I think I felt like very different during the games and trainings. I started caring a lot more, and like actually, I don't know, like wanting to improve, not for me, but for the whole team. And like I think that's kind of why you said like we've been like kind of a bond in a team that you want to sustain and you want to like fight for your teammates.
Yeah, I think that bond is really, really important. And yeah, Damir mentioned the Borough. Every Tuesday Champions League night, be there. Three sisters.
Yeah.
Just a bit quick promo.
Yeah.
If you want drinks,
Yeah.
still come.
15% off for all members. But yeah, it's really fun to just build also friendships and the community. And yeah, it's different playing for your friends rather than just for I wouldn't say just a badge, but especially at an amateur level,
with your friends and
Yeah.
for your friends.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
me personally, I play for my friends,
Mm-hmm.
but I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people that don't do that, and I think that should be changed.
Yeah,
Like
I
some of the people actually have to like join, like be on the same, as Seb said, be on the same page. Just
Yeah.
like
the mentality just has to
Exactly.
be the same.
let's be
you know?
united.
Yeah, especially because now I know that the girls are in a title race. The first team is also in a title race, and especially in these times you have to come together, because I mean, I don't know for you, but for us it's really, really important that we're all friends.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so too. And I think like since we've kind of realized that like, yeah, we have a chance to win this, like I think kind of switched like the mindset from everybody. And like although like we do have one main competitor, all games are like can be difficult, and I think it takes a lot of personality and like bonds in the team to be able to like, if we were down like 1-0, like to be able to come back and like still win the game, or like having that attitude to like fight back. I think it's made like having good players, of course, but also like you have to be like together as a team. You can't win a game with some only players. So I think having a very cohesive team is very important, as you said.
Yeah, you have to believe in each other, right?
Yeah.
And for us it was also a realization that what I also personally did was like a lot of negative coaching, and I feel like positive coaching is just such a different beast that it just raises the level, because now we have an agreement where everybody on the field, you can only coach positively, and I feel like that just improved us so much, because the negativity is just cut out. You don't scream at each other, you don't put each other down in the moment, you always lift each other up. And I can tell a lot from a body language of some of the teams that I watch play, whether it's HVV or whether it's professionals, where the mood in the changing room is just so bad because they put each other down constantly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also not just being friends, but also just being a good person, you know, on the field.
I think it's easy to lose sight of the fact that you're actually just playing with your friends when you're playing, because the games get so passionate, even the trainings get so passionate. Like the amount of times I've wanted to just like scream at my team and stuff like that, and I know it's like, it's just the moment you get carried away in it, but then you realize like it should be a positive place where everyone's trying to improve each other, not pull each other down.
No, I literally want to say the same thing.
Yeah, and I just think that it's so cool to have that mentality for a lot more people, because when we do go out, I feel like this is exactly what we share. You know, everybody who just wants to improve, and those people who come along and take part in team bonding is the main idea, right? To become more cohesive unit rather than separate.
Yeah.
And my last question to close out the episode is, what kind of tips do you guys have to improve like HVV or amateur football, and a couple sentences, what do you think it?
That's a good question.
I think something a lot of amateur footballers overlook and is very important, training specifically, I don't know about attitude, but like training specifically is like stuff like coordination drills, or like stuff like plyometrics, like improving your actual body's ability to perform instead of just looking at technique, or instead of just playing, you know. I think that can make it can make a huge impact to your game and overall how you play and your confidence while you play. Like if you know that you can knock it past someone and just sprint by them, you'll play in a completely different way than if you're scared that you're going to tear your hamstring when you do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people can easily improve by just doing like coordination drills or plyometrics, or at least trying stuff that will help your footballing ability, which isn't actually specifically playing football, you know?
Yeah. I
agree with that, because when we started playing, at least when I started playing in the Netherlands, it was with Seb in HVV, so in Leiden. And we had this American guy, and he was obsessed with plyometrics, and he always wanted to like be in charge of the trainings. So we would do, like, we were playing really bad, like that team was really bad, and then he came in as a new player, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys some coordination drills, plyometric, blah blah. And then we started doing that week after week after week, and by the end of the season we actually started getting some points. And I was like, oh, it actually works.
At the start we were losing like 8-0,
yeah,
8-1, you know, like horrible.
And then it went to draw, and then I think last game of the season we even won.
Wow.
So it was a really bad team.
I like how you say that. It's a really bad team. Don't want to shout it out.
I think from like an outside perspective, as you said, like promote HVV or amateur football. I think like HVV is doing a good job, like social media wise, kind of promoting, like especially because we're a very like international club for like students. I think it's important that people that are coming in like know that this is teams existing like in The Hague, and like it's like a good opportunity to play football. And I think we're like the club is doing a good job with that, like with the podcast as well, for example. I think it's really cool that like we're actually kind of trying to promote the club, not just playing. And like for me, like I just saw that Instagram of HVV, I was like, okay, yeah, like they're actually like playing and it looks fun, like I want to join now, you know. So I think it was cool, like I like just to improve, not like amateur football, but like at HVV, as you said, like just keep kind of promoting the club in social media and like in other other ways, just so people can see and possibly join or like watch our games or anything like that.
I'm glad you said social media, because I know some guy called Philip is going to be very happy about that comment, because he's been pushing it. He's been doing a really good job. So yeah, thank you guys for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you
for hosting.
I'll see you guys on episode 4
on the pitch tonight.
Well, that's first.